I want to do this thing here, this image transformation. And there's some cool stuff. We want to basically, I want to do a couple of things here. There's actually two different things I want to do. One is I want to do this reduce brightness of an image by a level, because that's actually transforming an image. And let's make a new file. And let's save this as live demo. But the first one I want to do, I don't want to do that one yet. What I want to do first, and let me steal that import because I'm not typing all that again. I want to load an image. And I'm going to load Santa because everybody loves Santa. And I have a Santa image in my folder right here. Here's Santa. So I'm loading Santa. Now that's going to return a list of tuples, right? We could print this out, image string to file. In fact, let's go ahead and do it. Santa readable.txt. But that's not going to help us super a lot, right? I mean, that's great for us. Oops, I forgot to write the next thing. I was supposed to write, I was supposed to print some stuff out, but now we can actually look at Santa's and notice that Santa only goes to 20 rows. And let me word wrap this. And actually, I don't like that one word wrapped. Let's go to Notepad++. And it did 5 by 4. So you can see it only did 20 by 20, which we said it was going to do 20 by 20. But that's not super helpful. I want to be able to modify an image, and then I want to be able to save that image actually as an image. I want to be able to modify the pixels of an image. And so saving image, and by the way, it's helpful to print out the stages because some of these stages take a while. When you're saving to disk, hard disk, they take a while. In fact, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but it took a little minute to read the file. And as your images get bigger, it gets worse. The bigger the image, the longer it takes to load. And so we're going to print loading image. We load Santa. We stick him in some variable. We now have the image here as a 2D list of tuples. I'm not going to do the string to file thing again. And I want to save the image. I call the save image method in the library, which takes an image, the data, the 2D pixels, 2D pixels as tuples, and then a file name to save it at. And we're going to save it to Santa New. And I run this. It's going to load image, takes a minute. Save image, takes a minute. And now I have, here he is, Santa New. And there's Santa New. And here's Santa Old. So there's Santa.png and there's Santa New.png. It's the same file. So we can now figure out that, hey, if I can load a file, and I could save a file, and I have access to all the pixel contents, I can do something to that file. And I can save it and I can view it. Someone asked, can we see the colors and all that stuff? And the reality is not in Python. We're not making an image program in Python. We're making programs that manipulate images. And then you can just use whatever paint program, viewable or viewer that you want on your own computer. And so let's look at this reduced brightness thing now. Now that we have the basics. In fact, I'm going to steal those basics because you have something that works, steal it. And we're going to call this reduce brightness. And just going to grab all of that code. And then I'm going to get rid of that. We're not going to use Santa. I actually have a cat image. We're going to play with the cat because why not? Is it called cat? Here's cat. That's a pretty detailed image, by the way. Cat is 800 by 600 pixels. This is a big standard image. You guys want to see star, the 10 by 10 we started with? There's our star. That was a 10 by 10. We're using a big, high quality image, as in you could take a photo of this image of somebody, and now you can manipulate it. So cat image. I don't really want to do anything with that. And then I'm going to save the cat image. And we're going to call it, make sure you call it something else so you don't mess up your original image. Now, I want to do something to my image. I want to manipulate this image. I'm going to use a function to do it. And it actually told me to do this. And we're going to, in fact, let's steal all of that. And I'm going to put a comment there. Just so I have it all here. So I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call, and again, remember, this is a big image. This is a big image. And so we definitely want to have feedback. In fact, I'm going to modify it to a new variable. I'm going to, remember, you can't modify tuples. You cannot modify tuples. So you have to make a new list with new tuples. And it's going to take a cat image. And then we give it some level of brightness. And so we're going to reduce all the pixels by 50%. So 255 is going to be 128. 100 becomes 50. And then this is actually 255 is going to be 127 because we round down. But we're going to load the cat, reduce the brightness, and then we're going to modify. Apparently I have, let's do, maybe it's complaining because I don't have anything in here. And no such, is it called cat? Oh, it's a JPEG. So I made a mistake there. It's actually not a PNG. It's a JPEG. Make sure we save as a JPEG. There are different file formats. Loading image, brightness. Did not want to save it. Argument must be a string, byte-like, or number. Let's go back and look at the line. Save image cat modified. Oh, cat modified is currently empty. So let's return the original image. By the way, this is why we test this stuff, so we figure out where all these little problems are. And cat modified is exactly the same as cat. So now we have cat modified in cat. So now we're in a place where we can manipulate pixels. Right, that's our job. To do image manipulation, image transformation, we are going to manipulate pixels. And there's a couple of ways we can write this. But remember, all we're doing is we're taking the pixel values and reducing all of them by 50%. Every pixel value is a tuple. We can get the individual components of a tuple. Every pixel value is inside of a two-dimensional list, which means we need a nested loop, right? I'm going to write this in two different ways. The first way, I'm just going to assume, so the outer loop, right? We're going to do a range of image on the outer, and then some columns on the length of the row, right? So we grab the number of rows, grab the columns. Let me make sure, I think I'm missing something here. There we go. So we're going for every row in the image, for every column in the image. Now we can do something. And now I want to rewrite these two things. Because there's another way that looks a little better, but is exactly the same. We still need to do a range, but instead of height of the image or length of the image, what if we used the height? and width of the image. It doesn't change how it works. It just changed what it sounds like. And instead of R and C, we'll call this height and width, or it could still be row or column, but it gives us a little bit more understanding of what's happening. They're literally doing the same thing. If we were to look at the functions again, you would see that nothing's changed. It's actually calling the same things. And now we can get the pixel. We get the pixel from the image. Remember, it's just two-dimensional list. It's a list of lists, two-dimensional list. We grab the height and width. Now we have a pixel. However, we cannot modify that pixel. But what we can do is we can replace that pixel with a new pixel value. And we're just going to multiply it by the level. So we multiply the red component and save that as the first part of the new tuple. And then we multiply the green component. Say that as the second part of the tuple. And then we multiply, all we're really doing, by the way, is scaling the color. We call that color scaling, just scaling the color. And so we have the red value going in the first component, the green value going in the second component, and the blue value going in the third component. And each one is scaled, meaning multiplied and scaled downward based on whatever the level, in this case, 0.5. We're just updating the pixels. Actually running it. We're kind of running out of time. Let's just make sure it works. R is not defined. Oops, I said R, didn't I? I actually changed my R. Where did I use R? This is not R anymore. This is H. Loading, reducing, saving. Let's look at the cat now. Oh, I forgot to, did I forget to do something? I think I forgot to do something. Returning image, although which is fine, we're modifying the image. Obviously, I've got a little thing going on here. Grab the pixel, multiply the pixel, return the image after we modified the pixel. Let's see, cat image, save image to cat modified. Just in case, let me delete the cat. It does not look like it's working. Let's get drastic. 0.1 should be like literally nothing. It should be almost black. You know, it never fails. You get to the end of the class and code's not working. I think code is programmed not to work when you get near the end of the class time. Let's see. Let's just make sure we're in the loop. I should see a whole bunch of pixels. All right, I just don't want to see all those pixels, but at least I'm seeing a whole bunch of pixels. Oops. I deleted the wrong thing. This is going to be ugly. Probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have printed out these images this way. I basically just need to see why it's not doing it. So we have by the way, I killed idle as well. And now you know what it looks like to kill your thing. Okay, we're running out of, we're actually over on time. I need to end all of this. Yeah, don't ever do that. That image was too big to do that too. So cat image, cat readable.txt, and then cat mod. And let's just compare, not that. Oh, that's Santa, I want the cat. So there's cat readable, cat mod. And now let's do it again. I have a theory. It's not a good theory, but I have a theory on why it failed. Okay, so here's the original, here's the new one. It is changing the values, and yet it's saving as the old one. So now let me figure out why it's saving as the old one. Actually, it shouldn't be saving as the old one. One of my concerns is the fact that floating point numbers might be doing something to it. So cat mod, save cat mod. Yeah, I'm confused. Anyway, we're out of time. I'll try and play with it a little bit more and see why it's not working. And then I'll post on Piazza when I figure it out.